No more quitting. Dominate it all, week. Every week starts the same way for most people. Loud intentions, fake promises, a surge of motivation that collapses the first time life pushes back. By Wednesday, they're tired. By Thursday, they're overwhelmed. By Friday, they've quit. Again. And they call it a bad week. Stop that. It wasn't a bad week. It was a weak decision repeated every day. And this time, you're done with that pattern. No more quitting. No more collapse. No more surrender disguised as exhaustion. This week, you dominate, from the first hour to the last. Quitting is not an event. It's a habit. It's a reflex you've trained into yourself. You feel pressure, so you pause. You feel discomfort, so you slow down. You feel resistance, so you stop. You tell yourself you're protecting your mental health, but really you're protecting your laziness. You're protecting your softness. You're protecting the very weakness that's stealing your goals. This week demands something different from you. This week demands that you stop training your brain to retreat and start training it to advance. Quitting is a thief. It steals potential. It steals momentum. It steals the version of you that your future could have depended on. When you quit, you're not just dropping a task, you're dropping identity. Every time you walk away from discipline, you become less of who you could be. Every time you stop early, you teach your body that your emotions run your life. And emotions are terrible leaders. They change by the hour. They crumble under stress. If you let emotions lead, you'll quit every time things get uncomfortable. So the message is simple. If you want the life you scream about in your head, you must fight the instinct to quit with the same intensity you'd use to defend your family. Because quitting is trying to erase you from your own future. Look at how many times you've reset, how many times you've started over, how many times you've said, "This time I'm serious," only to fall back after one hard day. That cycle ends now. This week becomes the week you break the pattern. This week becomes the week you move without stopping. This week becomes the week where your actions finally match your ambition. And yes, it will hurt. Good. Pain means you're not repeating the same useless routines. Pain means you're pushing into new territory. Pain means you're not quitting. Most people quit the moment they feel pain, not because they can't continue, but because they've never practiced continuing. They've never trained the muscle of staying. They've only trained the muscle of stopping. That ends today. Your job this week is not to be perfect. Your job is to refuse to quit. That alone separates you from 99% of people. Most people don't lose because they lack talent. They lose because they stop. They stop when they're tired. They stop when they're discouraged. They stop when the results aren't fast. They stop when things aren't convenient. And deep down, they know it. That's why they envy the ones who push through. You want to dominate the week? Then you must learn to dominate your quitting instinct long before you dominate anything else. Here's the truth you've been avoiding. There is no magical version of you coming to save you. There is no perfect timing. There is no miracle that removes resistance. You win by outlasting your weakness. You win by refusing to bow when everything inside you screams for escape. You win by being the rare person who doesn't break when life pressures you. Discipline is not dramatic. It's not cinematic. It's not loud. It's the quiet moment where you keep going while your brain begs you to stop. And this week, you will have those moments. They will appear exactly where they always do. Midweek, when the excitement fades and the grind takes over. That is where your entire identity is rewritten. You either collapse like you always have, or you force yourself through the barrier until quitting is no longer your instinct. You must decide now which version of yourself will show up. You are not tired. You are untrained. You are not overwhelmed. You are undisciplined. You are not incapable. You are inconsistent. Fix the root, not the excuse. Quitting is the root. Slice it out. You know exactly what needs to be done this week. You know where you usually fail. You know the routines you abandon. You know the obstacles that trigger your excuses. You're not confused. You're afraid of the discomfort that comes with staying in the fight. That fear is the opponent. That fear is the barrier. That fear is the voice you strike down every single day until it has nothing left to say. This week becomes your training ground. Every time you feel the urge to quit, you go harder. Every time you want to step back, you step forward. Every time doubt appears, you suffocate it with action. That's how domination starts. You don't dominate with plans. You dominate with repetition. You dominate by showing up on the days where failure looks tempting. You dominate by refusing to negotiate with your weakness. And understand something. Dominating the week is not about doing huge things. It's about refusing to stop doing the small things. Consistency beats intensity. Showing up beats everything. You don't need to destroy yourself to win. You need to show up every day, no matter what, no matter how you feel, no matter how slow the progress seems. You are building a version of yourself that cannot be moved once it decides on a target. This week, you build the version of you that does not quit. That version is forged in discomfort. It is forged in discipline. It is forged in action taken while your emotions scream. That version is forged right now. If you quit this week, you will repeat the same year for the rest of your life. Read that again. Let it sting. Let it burn through every excuse you've ever used. Most people are not living different years. They're living the same year over and over because they quit before anything can compound. Effort compounds. Discipline compounds. Consistency compounds. Quitting kills all of it. This week, you stop killing your own momentum. Your new rule is simple. Finish the day. No skipping, no collapsing, no leaving things half done. You finish. Even if it's sloppy, even if it's slow, even if it's heavy. A finished day builds a finished week. A finished week builds unstoppable identity. Do you understand what that means? It means you win through repetition, not emotion. It means you don't wait for motivation. You build momentum by force. And when quitting tries to claw its way back into your mind, you slam the door on it, not with words, but with action. This week will try to break you. Good. Let it try. Because this time, you don't break. You rise. You push. You keep going. You make quitting impossible because you've decided that failure is no longer an option you allow yourself to choose. Imagine Friday arrives. You look back and for the first time in a long time, you didn't quit. Do you realize what kind of power that gives you? It's not the tasks. It's not the goals. It's not the accomplishments. It's the identity. You become someone who does not quit. That is the most dangerous version of you. That is the version that gets results. That is the version that commands respect, both from others and from yourself. You've spent enough time living inside cycles of restarting. This is the week you break the pattern. This is the week you stop quitting. This is the week you dominate, not with loud energy, but with relentless consistency. Anyone can start strong. Only the disciplined finish strong. You will finish. Decisive closing CTA. Pick the hardest commitment of your week and finish it, no matter what. No excuses, no quitting. Dominate the entire week with action that proves you've already chosen the stronger version of yourself.